Yo, what's up guys? How you guys doing? So, KR has dropped another trailer video for the content coming up soon in KR. I think it's coming in 1 week or 2 weeks for them. So, let's check it out. I did already see it, so I already know what's going to happen. So, I will say, I was one of the people who actually was not really hyped with the idea of a Berthe raid. Because for me, like, I think Berthe, like, some guy we beat in FIDA. And Alessis beats him in her tutorial. Like, kind of lame in my opinion. But it seemed a lot of people were hyped about the idea of a Berthe raid, so, I mean, I guess, like, this trailer hyped me up as well, honestly. Like, this trailer was really well made, and it hypes me up as well. I guess the idea is just kind of like, the idea of fighting an enemy, like, throughout the entire game, and then you finally, like, finish him off here, like, after all this time. I guess that's what people were focusing on, and that's what I'll focus on, too. I guess the actual, like, big part will be, like, this kind of big, kind of ghostly demon form that we see here. Like, kind of fighting him here, that's kind of be, like, I guess it's a raid form. And here's the thing as well, we don't know it's a raid, right? I don't think they've necessarily said it's a raid. I think we're all just kind of assuming that. But I do think it'll be a great idea if this was a raid, kind of a 3-part raid, just like Percocet was, just like, what was it, the other one? Rosso. Oh my goodness, I can't remember the recent one. Just like Rosso raid was. So I do think it's going to be a raid. I really hope it will be a raid, and I do think it's a smart idea for this Berthe boss to be a raid. I do think it'll be an amazing idea. Not only the idea that kind of we've been fighting this guy out, fighting this guy for the entire kind of storyline, but in a game sense as well. So here I have Korean rankings for Korean video games that they play. They're very, very big into gaming. They always have these kind of like, internet cafes where you can just play a bunch of games. They're super into that stuff. I'm not sure how it is right now with the virus going on, but still, these are the games that they're playing. Elsword, as you can see, is number 44, and you might think, you know, that's not too good, but look at the games around it. Final Fantasy 14, under it. Like, Destiny 2, I don't know how big that game is right now. Counter-Strike, like, Minecraft over here at 36. You know, obviously the big ones, you know, League of Legends, Overwatch, Unknown Battlegrounds, FIFA, things like that. I mean, MapleStory's right here as well. Like, you know, top 50 is still a big deal, and Elsword's still, you know, hanging on. Like, that's pretty impressive. But I wanted to point you guys towards, you know, how high they've risen in the rankings before. So let's go to a random date. Let's see where they are. I think it's like consistently around the same place. Yeah, like 33. So they'll bounce around 40 to 30s. But let's go to another update. Here we got the Rosso raid update, July 25th, 2018. So let's go to around that time. So let's go to July 25th, 2018. Here we go. Or yeah, 25. Here we go. Perfect. So July 25th. Where is Elsword? Where is Elsword? It is. Where is it actually? Oh, here it is. 30. So it is 30 right here. That's when the trailer dropped. Let's go a bit further. Let's go a bit further to 2018, early August. Let's go to early August, and still 28. So it is rising. So with the creation of Rosso raid, it kind of jumped up a bit. Here we are in the 28 range. Let's keep going in the months. Let's keep going to mid-August about. Is it still rising? Yeah, it's still rising. Look at that. It's still rising. Rosso raid is, at this point in the game, Rosso raid is existing right now. People are playing Rosso raid, and more people are getting back into the game or getting into the game with just Rosso raid just being a thing. That's the impact these raids or Rosso raid had on the game. It's steadily rising and rising and rising and rising. Let's keep going. 822. Let's see, is it rising again, or did it go back down? It went back down a little bit. So I guess the main hype was in the first thing. Yeah, I guess the main hype was in the first when it first came out. Let's check how it is. End of August. Yeah, back down to like 35. So it first coming out was a big jump because it's usually in the like 30 to 40 range. Then it jumped into like the 25 range. The first half of the top 50 played MMOs. Pretty crazy. Let's keep going to a different raid. Is this the correct video? Yes, it is. Alright, amazing. So check this out. You guys all know this guy. First big raid in Elsword. I know that Elsword has had raids before, but one of the biggest raid. Good old Percocet raid. Let's go. 2015 June. Let's go. 2015 in June. And there's obviously other factors that affect like Elsword's ranking and things like that. You know, I'm not, you know, dismissing that at all. When was this again? I said June, but yeah, June 9th. So June 9th, let's go June 6th. Well, we gotta go a bit up. So let's look before, I guess. That'd be smart. So 40th, June 6th. And then let's keep going. 2015. Oh wait, was it in 2015? No, 2018. Not bad. So 2015, June 8th. Let's go to June 10th. And where is Elsword? 33. Okay, pretty standard. But let's keep going to like early July 2015. And 28 again. Back in almost top half. I would say thanks to a raid boss. You know, obviously this might be up the facts. 23. Look at this. 23. July 22nd, 2015. Guess what's fresh on the plate? Good old Percocet Phase 1. This is the impact, guys. This is the impact that raid bosses have on Elsword. They make the game go from around this 40, maybe 30 range to the 25 range, 23 range. The first half, top 25 MMOs played in Korea, or just video, not even just MMOs, video games. Like, let's take away certain games. Let's take I don't know. Would you consider League an MMO? No, it's like I forget what those games are called. Let's take away League, take away FIFA. Maple Story 2 is still MMO. Dungeon Fighter still MMO. Maple Story Channel, take off all the non-MMOs. Elsword rises even higher. It's pretty crazy. It's honestly pretty crazy. The impact that raids have on Elsword, and I think that they should. Because raids are kind of like the pinnacle of MMOs, and also honestly, Elsword doesn't have many of them because it is a bit of an unnatural MMO. It's a side scroller, not like a top viewing down one. It's not like a clicking one to use your skills. You don't have like 1,000 skills. It's more of like a platforming, almost like Super Smash Brothers gameplay type of game. And still, it's hanging in there and it's doing pretty good. Like, it's 44 right now. But my prediction is that it will rise to almost top half again as this new raid boss comes out. If it is a raid boss, that's the thing, right? We don't know if Berthe is a raid boss. We don't necessarily know. That's just a guess that we have. I think it will be a great idea. But here's my one problem. It's going to be like second point I talk about. I don't want the reward. Here's the thing we got to talk about, right? If it is a raid bosses have to give an amazing reward. I agree with that. But I don't want the reward to be a weapon. For some reason, the Elsword devs have the idea that if there's something great, grand coming out, like a raid, the reward has to be a weapon. I do not think that the reward has to be a weapon. I don't think, just because you have a raid doesn't mean it has to be a weapon. I think they can give something else that will just give a lot of power and it's be worth grinding and worth trying to get to do these difficult bosses, but it doesn't have to be a weapon. I think it can be a weapon booster. I think it can increase the power of our FOJ. Because here's the thing, right? How do you increase the power of the FOJ? FOJ is at level 99. All the other weapons before FOJ were not at level 99. They're like level 85, I think, for Perky. Level 95, I think, for Void Weapon. Level 90, I think, for Percocet's weapon. No, wait, or is Percocet's 85? I'm not sure off the top of my head. But the main point is that they've always had weapons not be level 99. And here we go with Rasa weapon at level 99. So how do you go higher from there? Like, the Elsword cap doesn't increase to past level 99. And I know people will say things like, oh, ERP, but that's the thing. ERP is different from leveling. Leveling gives you raw stats, so that's why weapons increase with, weapons power increase with the levels, because levels in general give you raw stats. ERP is a bit different. You choose what stats you want. And as well, like the thing with like Void Weapon compared to FOJ is FOJ gets the other half of the Mystic board. Like, would the quote unquote new weapon give another third to the Mystic board? Like, what? Like, that doesn't even make sense. Or even with the new system, with the engraving system, I believe FOJ has 2 engraving slots. Is the new weapon going to have like 4 engraving slots? Is that even worth it? Because the engraving system seems very kind of like these weird niche effects. They still seem good, but they seem like weird niche effects. So I can't see, I just can't see how they would make the weapon better than FOJ kind of already is. So that's kind of why I don't want a new weapon. I do think it'd be better if they gave us like a weapon booster. Like, I thought they would keep this engraving system for this Berthe raid, let's say, assume it's a raid. I thought they would keep the engraving system for the Berthe raid. Like, once you complete the Berthe raid enough times, you unlock the engraving system that you can put on any weapon. It was kind of surprised me that they kind of like put the system out, and it's like, okay, every weapon has this system. But let's think about what else could they potentially put in this Berthe raid. I think it would be cool. I know it's like a weird idea, but I'm just kind of like spitballing right now. I think it'd be cool if they put out mod bees. mod Bs were locked behind this birth rate, and they were crazy mod Bs. Like, let's say, like, a DPS class like Nova or Doombringer had a mod skill locked behind this raid that's like a support skill. Like, completely turn the tables. Like, let's go super duper crazy. Like, let's give a DPS class a support skill, or let's go even crazier, right? Let's talk about Radiant Soul, Aether Sage. These support heavy classes getting a DPS skill locked behind this raid. I think that'd be worth it. Like, make a skill that is super worth it for your class behind this raid. I think that'd be worth the grinding and the effort it takes to complete these raid bosses. Let's go even further. You know, like I said, the engraving system, maybe the best engraving stuff is locked behind the birth rate. Maybe the best top engraving thing ever, whatever it is locked behind this. Or more engraving slots. Like, remember how Elcheon raid, the first oh man, I forgot to look at that video. But the first Elcheon raid gave us the socket increase system, like the socket increase system. That was just a system in itself. Of course, it had a new weapon. You know, you could drop a weapon. But he gave, like, the socket system a thing. He created it. So maybe the birth rate can just give us more engraving slots. I think that'd be really cool. I just don't want a new weapon, you know? I feel like I've just finally perfected my FOJ. And I can, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like I finally can use my FOJ to its full potential. And it's now like, well, now throw it away. Gotta get this new weapon. It would feel really lame for me. I feel like almost me and almost everybody else that I've talked to feels like when a new weapon comes out, it's like, dang it, it's a new weapon. Instead of like, oh man, it's a new weapon. You know, it's less excitement and more like, man, now I have to get this. You know, I feel like that's the feel people have. Because again, you gotta enhance it again. You gotta find good IDs for it again. If it's gonna have Mystic Stones, you're gonna have to get Mystic Stones again. So I don't think it'll be I feel like it'll hurt the community more than it'll help the community. The same problem happened when Void Weapon came out. Because when Void Weapon came out, at least with NA, what was it? Elcheon MK2 came out. Elcheon MK2 came out very recently, and then very recently after that, Void came out, and people were just like, well, I just wasted all my time getting this Elcheon weapon, and now Void came out. Same with Perky Weapon was pretty soon to Void Weapon. People were just like, oh, I wasted all my time to get this weapon. This new weapon came out. Like, that kind of sucks. I mean, and, you know, the gap between when FOJ came out and when this new dungeon is coming out is pretty long. That is a pretty long gap, but I don't think there's quite enough there hasn't been enough time for people to fully enjoy their FOJs. Maybe it's different in Korea. Obviously, I don't play the Korean server, so I don't know the full aspects of it. But I just really don't want a new weapon to come out. But I do want a raid boss to come out. I do think this game is in dire need for a raid boss. You know, I think it's just the perfect time for it. It's been a while since we had Rossa Raid, since Rossa Raid was fresh. So a brand new raid coming out. Like, they've been getting better with their boss fights, I would say. Master Road has some really good boss fights, except for Denif. Let's not talk about Denif. But a lot of the other ones are fantastic boss fights. So I do think it is time for another raid boss, and it'll be fantastic. I just do not want a new weapon. But that's going to be it for me, guys. Thank you so much for listening to my ramblings. I am really super hyped for this boss. Whether it's a raid boss, whether it's a normal boss, it looks really exciting. Like, here's the thing, right? Again, I wasn't on board for the idea of, like, Berthe coming back, but this trailer hyped me enough to be like, alright, dude, Berthe is coming back. Let's beat him up again. Like, he's going to get this new kind of demon form. Like, this demon spirit ghost form. Like, I don't even know what's going on. I had this picture on the screen for so long. I don't even know what's going on. And I know it's gonna be crazy. Like, honestly, I can't wait. Yeah, guys, let's freaking go, dude. This is gonna be so cool. I can't wait till it comes out in NA. It won't be in NA for probably another month. But once it comes out, you bet, you know I'm gonna play it. You know I'm gonna play it so many times. I'm gonna be doing it so many times. There's gonna be so many recordings, live streams if I can. I kind of can't record raids sometimes just because my computer's not the best. But I can definitely record them. Definitely record them for you guys. Definitely gonna give my thoughts about them. Definitely gonna react to them. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be crazy. Yes, let's go. Let's go. This is gonna be great. I'll see you guys next time. Have a fantastic day. Peace out.